between number 9, Carson Hochler, and number 6, Cam Amine. They're saying no, the referees, they say no 2 points.
He said he hurt his knee. We immediately just tried to get him refocused on like hurry and get to the line and go score.
I think I maybe had like 10 seconds in between the injury happening and me looking over the coaches and the ref like, all right, top, bottom, neutral, like, let's go. And so I was like, all right, we gotta do it.
Can Cam Amine get it? Can he get the victory? Cam Amine close to possibly defeat Costa, and he gets it! What a win for Cam Amine here in Hanover for the Maize and Blue! Oh my goodness!
Cam has a toughness that you just can't teach. I think that just having that name, you think Amine, you think tough wrestling.
Wow, another Amine into the semifinals. What a great Michigan family.
Growing up in a Michigan household, I didn't really understand it until I got here, but you ask me now, I bleed blue. So my dad and my uncle came to Michigan. I have an older brother named Jordan, older cousin Malik, older cousin Miles, and then it's me. It's been, 6 of us now that have come through here, and it's just all wrestling.
Mike was part of my recruiting trip to the University of Michigan, and then I was teammates my first 2 years with Sam, so from the time I started paying attention to Michigan wrestling, the Amine name and the Amine family have been centered around it.
I accomplished a lot of my goals, but not all of them. I went and I set out to be an NCAA champ. I fell short, taking second. I sometimes beat myself over it. I think it's what drives me today. I think they recruited me to get to my brother Sam because he was the phenom. I was good, he was great.
Yeah, I knew I was going to Michigan just because I wanted to follow my brother. Junior year, I was wrestling. I was 28-2 and ranked number 2 in the country and blew my knee out. After that, I never made it back.
I used to love watching my brothers wrestle. And just by seeing the intensity that my brothers have and how it carried on to their children, I've always been a fan of my nephews.
I feel like I had a lot of weight on my shoulders to make sure I wrestled at Michigan, to carry on that legacy. I'm proud that I had that opportunity to go there and wrestle and represent the Block M like my father and my uncle did before me.
I didn't even know my dad actually wrestled until I was like maybe in 8th grade. The Michigan tradition was a lot deeper than I thought. There's just something about wrestling at University of Michigan and being part of a team.
Here's Amine, a takedown, the Wolverine in sudden victory. Miles Amine, now a 2-time Big Ten champion.
It shaped who I am today. I would have been doing myself an injustice just coming here solely because my family was here. I actually did explore other options and then still ended up here. I always consider myself a kind of a family-first person, so being able to be at a school like Michigan where the wrestling is at such a high level, you know, competing for Big Ten national titles, but then also you could go home for a Sunday dinner after a dual meet.
First takedown gets the steak. This is how you cook a steak. It's seared on the outside and it's pink on the inside to perfection.
You don't want to.
Cam, how do you like your steak, babe? Just like that. Just like this?
If you get us together, it's a lot of jokes, but then you also would get the, oh, we're wrestling. There will be wrestling going on. My dad's dad wrestled for Lebanon in the Olympics.
My dad would be coaching us and we were like, how in the heck does this old man know these moves? And my mom says, you guys don't know nothing about your father. Your dad was one of the best Middle Eastern wrestlers of all times back in the 60s and 50s.
They should be doing this in the wrestling room, but somebody calls this sport. It's 4 near fall.
The doors that wrestling has opened for us as a family and individually for each of us has been something that I don't think can be replicated with anything else.
These walls up here, these padded walls were in Chrysler, and I brought them to this house.
We probably put at least 50 holes in these walls before my Uncle Mike was like, all right, it's time to put some padding up on here.
Mal came out with drywall on his hair and an afro.
We had a wrestling room pretty much like this in our other house. They used to just tell Cameron to come at him, and they would double leg him into the wall.
It was everywhere. It was whatever wrestling room we were in, if we were together, it was always fighting, always messing around, and majority of the time I was the one that got hurt.
Every single game that we used to play, it used to be all of us versus him. Miles was always on the fence of whose side he should take, and me and Jordan were kind of gang up on everybody.
Cam had no choice but to be an animal from day one. We'd get him pretty good and he'd be crying and we'd have to cover his mouth because we knew my dad was gonna come downstairs or my Uncle Mike and take care of business if we beat him up too bad.
I learned a lot about wrestling and a lot about just being a man pretty much growing up and not complaining about when stuff doesn't go your way. It taught me how to be brave and go get what I want.
These guys have wrestled each other quite enough. They know each other pretty well. It's not a surprise.
Double, 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 double! Mr. Amine runs the double from the NCAA across the mat.
It was a surreal moment. Just the crowd, my family, being in Detroit, being home, with my coaches there. I feel like it's a moment that you really do have to experience once in your life to be able to understand it, right?
Cam's best wrestling, still ahead of him here in Michigan. He's hungry to get into the NCAA finals and compete for a championship.
When I wrestle with Cameron, I feel like, he's at the level where I'm getting better just as much as he's getting better when we compete against each other.
He sees things that I don't see, so I became really, really close with him, and he's always been that helping hand that has helped me through everything, really, since I've been here.
Cameron, he's the last one of the legacy, at least for now, until we have kids. I think for him to be able to cap it off and hopefully get a national title, which none of us have ever done, would be tremendous.
Being the last one, it's like, all right, you guys left me with the hardest task, right? That's to win an NCAA title, but that's been a dream and a goal of mine since I've been little, and I've been pushing for it every single day. My family's here, win, lose, or draw. I can look up, and they're going to be the first ones right there in my face to give me a hug, tell me it's okay, right? Or slap me on the butt and say, hey, let's go, keep moving, like, good job, great win, right? I feel like in any sport that you have, with a family like that, it's unbeatable.